Ball tripping. Peace and blessings, beautiful people. Peace and blessings. I hope all is well with you, within whatever world that you're experiencing. I'm gonna get this thing started at 7 after, you heard me. Give me a couple of minutes right quick. I hope y'all had a magnificent day today. Oh, okay. Go and come over right quick, you heard me.
There
What's
we go.
good?
Hey, bro, what it is, baby?
Hey, I'm about to hold a conversation with one of my sisters tonight, my baby. I got some bars to drop right quick. How you
Okay,
night?
go for it.
Your night going good?
My night going well. I'm gonna let you take the show. I'm gonna be quiet. You do your
It's all
thing.
good. It's all good. Beautiful people, beautiful people. Here's the situation. You heard me. I got a fly in my room. I don't even understand where he came from. Anyway, if this is your first time coming across my live, I want to say welcome. You heard me, because at the end of the day, there's a multitude of things that I'm going to say tonight that's going to either change the trajectory of how you think and speak to other individuals, or it's just going to be just another message that you overlook. You heard, man, and you still listening to the wrong people that's telling you the wrong things on behalf of what's actually taking place within your life. You heard, man. There's a multitude of y'all who have been divorced before, and you have still yet to be able to see or experience the thoughts of understanding that that had to happen the way that it happened in order for you to become somebody else. But at the same time, you never allowed that process to actually change you. You only allowed it to make you bitter. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because I didn't even know. Hey, let me put you on mute, my baby. You heard me? Or put
Oh,
yourself on mute. How that go?
I
I
have
don't know
put
how
it.
to do
Oh,
that.
I don't
I
know
don't know
either.
how to do that.
Hold
Let
on.
me see. I don't even know
Hit
how to
me.
do it. There you go. I got it right there. So, as I mentioned, there's something specific that the Lord wants me to do within this season. And as I think over life, I think about all the times that I continue to run from my purpose. You heard me? Now, this is a man that's saying this. This is not a male in transition no longer, because in the life of the world, I was a male in transition, just like strategically the men that you like to call men in your particular world. You heard me? My baby, there's no man in that world if you don't have a relationship of intimacy with the Lord. You heard me? As long as you choose to allow yourself to basically believe that you're less than, you heard me? That's one. You allow yourself to be afraid of success. Think about it. You're so smart. You are a master in every particular area that you've experienced within this life. Think about it. Whatever you went through, let's say you're a mother that has 3 or 4 baby daddies. My baby, you've mastered the art of having children with different particular familiar spirits. And that's a part of your purpose. But you'll never see it that way. You'll only see this particular life that the world gives you whenever it comes towards living on government assistance. You heard me? Think about it. There's individuals that are in their 60s that are living on fixed incomes and government assistance. And chances are you're in your late 30s or early 30s or 40s or whatever the particulars may be, and you're still only accepting this particular life. And what's so crazy about it is you call that life. You heard me? And in that life, you tell people that you want to be married. You heard me? So with you telling people that you want to be married in a particular life that you know that you're living the wrong experience, and I'm telling you this because I love you. I'm your brother. I'm going to tell you this. I have to tell you this because I have to. He's not going to allow me to be able to manipulate your spirit because I'm trying to help you build your spirit to understand that everything you knew before tonight was a lie. They lied to you to make sure that you never get the opportunity to, one, hear this particular message from the Lord, or two, basically not hear it because now you're going to have different thoughts and you're going to take those different thoughts to that small little circle that you call family, when in actuality those are your monitoring spirits, and those monitoring spirits are basically making sure that you never accept your particular call from the Lord either. And that's how they decided to do it, because that's how you decided to think of it. When in actuality, my baby, what I need you to understand is you're only seeing your life through your lens. But you never gave the opportunity to see it through the Lord's lens, because through the Lord's lens is when you're going to find that everything had to happen strategically that way, but you missed the boat on behalf of the change, because in the change, if you think about it, the baby raising manual change wasn't taught until after we was lied to. But at the same time, you saying that you're on your healing journey. You heard, man? My baby, your healing journey may never come, because at the same time, the healing journey was never taught in the baby raising manual. So how are you a mother this day, raising children, don't know how to heal, but at the same time telling everybody that you want to be married? My baby, you got to understand, you got to start being real with men whenever they come. Well, you can't tell the difference because you have still yet to realize that every male that you've experienced was just a mirror of you. And the reason why I can tell you is because I know that there's no males that's in your particular experience that's going to tell you this. They're only going to listen to you lie by telling them you're single or whatever the particulars may be. And then at the end of the night, you're going to still blame them for letting you take your mask off. Ooh, oh, I hope somebody caught that. Sis, what you think? You think somebody caught that? Let me take you off of mute, my baby. Talk to me. Huh? What's going on?
Listen. Woo! I listen. All I can say is fire. Come on with it.
Hey,
Do your thing. Put me back on mute, because I get
you know-
screaming. I start screaming over you.
You know
Go
what I
ahead, put me
love
on
about it the most? What I love about it the most is the Lord only allowed those that needed to hear that at that moment to be in the room. Because look at how the number changing now. You heard me? But I'm about to go back in. Watch this. But anyway, like I mentioned, for anyone that's brand new, I am Tommy Durrell. I focus on the mindset. I focus on changing the narrative. I know that I came into this world to be the change. But at the same time, you might not believe that you came to be the change. But my baby, yeah, you came to be the change too. It don't matter what it is that you've experienced within this particular life. You heard, man? You're still sitting there neutralizing your uniqueness. And what's so crazy about it, your baby daddy, your ex-husband, whoever, it had absolutely nothing to do with them. It had everything to do with the spirit that you're overlooking or you wasn't taught about as an adolescent. Because you got to understand, look at how the world is taking place. What's this? In the world that you're in, you're still only teaching your children the same thing you were taught whenever you was growing up. My baby, that didn't work. Think about it. They got you so manipulated and you not seeing it. You heard me? I can come in this thing every day trying my best to support the women. You heard me? Trying to tell the women, my baby, I'm showing you, I'm telling you what's going on. And they still don't want to believe me. But at the same time, that's cool, because all them women are not assigned to my call. And then the beautiful thing about it is, sis, I know that my call is not for grown-ups. My call is for the youth. Because if I can get into the minds of an 18 to 29-year-old, I guarantee you that they ain't gonna live the same life that we live. You heard me? The same experience, because they're gonna catch it way faster than us. You heard me? But they gotta be willing to listen. You heard me? They gotta be willing. Hey, Edgar, it's beautiful to see you, my brother. I seen you on camera today. Hey, you beautiful, ball. You heard me? Hey, I love you, ball. We gonna talk soon. My people, here's the deal. As I mentioned, I am Tommy Durrell. I focus on the mindset. I focus on changing the narrative. The Lord knows that there's about 99% of the things that I'm going to say tonight that's going to go against your programming. But at the same time, I had to learn how to be okay with that, because at the same time, everybody is not willing to change. And when you're not willing to change, that means they don't have nothing that nobody can say in this particular experience that's going to help you to change anything that you don't want to change. You heard me? You know, they say in the world that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Some of y'all are in your early 30s and you already at that point to where you are old dog having new tricks, because you're listening to individuals that's making sure they kill the spirit of you and have you killing the spirit of your children present day. Because listen to what I'm telling you. Everything you've experienced within this life has been a help. You've been looking at it as a hurt. My baby, it's been a help all your life, but at the same time, there's a lot of y'all that missed the boat on the change. You heard me? Remember the story of Jonah? He was running from his call, and he found himself in the mouth of that whale, and everybody thinking, oh man, he's in the mouth of a whale. What's going on? That was the travel to get to the change, baby. You heard me? You don't want to go through nothing. There's a lot of y'all some nice looking little women too. You heard me? Hey, I keep hearing that I'm handsome or something like that. I'm not interested in none of that. You heard me? Because at the same time, my baby, I'm finished with worldly women. So if you come into the inbox as a worldly woman, my baby, the Lord is not going to allow my spirit to be manipulated by the things that you try to catch your fish with in your life. Oh, no, I can't be a part of this cesspool, my baby. But watch this. I'm trying to teach you something. Check this out. There's a multitude of y'all, and I love that the room is so intimate. You heard me? It's just us 10, us 9 in here. They fall off. You heard me? But guess what? I've learned that there's individuals that'll never step into the room, but they'll watch from the outside. So guess what? Watch this, sis. I'm about to talk to the people that's on the outside. I'm not going to talk to the people that's on the inside, because those are the ones that's not afraid to go and come in and take this particular medicine. You heard, man? So to those of y'all that's in the back, there's somebody here that blames God for the life that they're choosing to live. I wish I had a moderator in the building. Sacred Force, type this in for me. You heard me? There's someone on the outside, because I know y'all good on the inside. I know this can't be y'all because y'all are here. So watch this. There's someone on the outside that is blaming God for the life that she's choosing to live. Let that soak in a little bit. You heard me? Let me get, sis, I know you want to say something. Come on. Come on. Where's that?
Bro, go for it. Listen, do your thing. Listen, when a king on the line, queen know how to step back. When my brother up there, I'm listening. You just blowing me away. Put me back on mute. I don't want to talk no more. I'm out.
Like I mentioned, there's people that's on the outside, because I know my 9 that's in here, they strong. Y'all have never stooped to that level. Think about it. Think about the level that they're stooping to. Watch this. And you got some homegirls. Chances are you got some homegirls that you still rock with that think like this too. Watch this. The caregiver coach, my baby, I got something for you tonight. Here's the question. Matter of fact, here's the situation, because I know you're a part of the 9. And I know that you've never experienced this, but at the same time, there's somebody on the outside that's afraid to come inside, because I know y'all been putting the hashtag FYP in the chat. So watch this. There's people on the outside that are blaming God for the life that they're choosing to live. What? What? Hey, so how much confusion could there be? My baby, that's not so who sent you here? You heard me? Think about it. You follow these little trends in the world and then you want to try to repeat them when you're holding conversations with certain people, not realize that chances are you talking to a chosen one. Or chances are you talking to, whatever. You might be talking to an angel. You have no idea. You bring this mindset to the new conversation, my baby. Hey, you got to understand. You still making everybody believe that you have manipulated in that circle that you operate out of, that it was always those men, when in actuality, my baby, look how you think. Was that his fault that you think like this? Because at the same time, I thought we all went to school the same way. You heard me? So you telling me in your 30s or in your 40s or in your 50s, you still telling me that you struggling in that area? Hey, so that's telling you what kind of bottom feeders that you actually operate. And guess what? Guess what, sis? They let a bottom feeder break their heart to the point to where they never become who the Lord created them to be. Now y'all got to remember, I know it's not your, oh, we got a new person that just popped in. You heard me? There's people that's on the outside. This is what's taking place, my people. You heard me? They got a lot of y'all that's in here. Matter of fact, let me start this thing over with again. You heard me? Hey, where's my manners? You heard me? Where's my manners? For the brand new people that's in the building, you heard, man. My baby, listen. Hey, non-figure yoga, my baby. Hey, I love your content. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm watching you. You heard me? I know that you're promoting to the women. You heard me? So every time I see your particular piece of content, my baby, I'm sharing that. You heard me? That's what you need. You need to find other individuals that are males that have influence over your particular niche. That way, you just create at that point, make it easy for yourself, because I'm not going to tell you all kind of stuff, because then you ain't going to remember what I'm trying to tell you. Create a particular group in the inbox of the 5 dudes that you're following that you actually support back to, because you got to understand, I got some people that they want to support back, but I don't even trip, because at the end of the day, I'm in my lane. I don't need them to be in my lane. I'm in my lane for y'all. You heard me? But anyway, find you about 5 men that actually has your particular niche of individual, because you got to understand, there's people in the world that'll never realize that a man is going to be connected to more females and a female is going to be connected to more males, especially if you're up here promoting lust. You heard me? Now, guess what? You done decided to go ahead and promote lust, and then you decided to go ahead and start your little business venture, and then you started putting out your little insurance stuff and this and that, and now all of a sudden you ain't getting no more likes. My baby, what's going on? You got to understand, that's not what them ball filing you for. They filing you for what you were showing, and then guess what? You want to sit here and come to social media, or better yet, come to TikTok and start talking about this God that you supposedly serve and all this other stuff, but then somebody go to your profile, you up here promoting lust. So which God are we talking about? My baby, you still straddling the fence, and you trying to go viral. Go viral doing what? You don't have nothing to offer, my baby. You got to understand, you only able to catch men that operate out of lust. Outside of that, there's males in transition. There's no men in that particular life. So guess what? Think about it. There's some of y'all that's too fine. Sis, they got some that's too fine that's out here. You heard me? And guess what? The issue is them things ain't gonna never find love, because they're deciding to believe that they got it all going on. My baby, you ain't got nothing going to take that body away. Think about it. Some of y'all, however long y'all been on Facebook, if Facebook would have came out back in the day like $9.99, you would have never got on that particular site. Think about it. You heard me? Because it was free, they allow all y'all to come on there. Think about what men actually go through whenever they're trying to operate in their purpose. We're trying to come here to social media to actually just support others, and then guess what? They got somebody in here, she up here showing her ass or whatever the deal is. She up there doing some provocative stuff, and guess what? It all of a sudden it came up on the FYP because one of the men that was actually connected to me got weak, and he reposted it. So now I got to struggle on behalf of something that he decided to do. So that's the reason why I don't follow everybody back, because you got to look at social media as a refrigerator. When I come to the refrigerator, I'm looking for something nutritious. If all you serving is worldly items, my baby, I don't need that. I've been in that already. I'm over here to change you. I'm totally here to give you a whole nother understanding of how the Lord sees you. And all this time, you sitting up there going off worrying about what all these dudes that don't even care about you are doing to you or not doing to you. And you come and hear a message like this, and you're going to just push me to the side because you heard me. You ain't trying to hear. You're not ready for change. That's all it is. You're not ready for change. That's the reason why we don't reach out. That's the reason why you would never get in the inbox, because you have to understand that my spirit is telling you that if you hold a conversation with me, you got to be ready for change. Talk to me, sis. Let me work this through. You heard me?
Work it. You're on fire tonight, bro. You telling? I mean, you're speaking facts, and
Hey,
that's why I love about you. You break it down, in such a way. Why couldn't they understand that? Like it don't take a rocket science to really hear what you're saying.
the reason why they can't understand is because I don't speak the language of the of the familiar spirits that they're actually operating with. Think
Yeah.
about it. There's somebody on here. They probably got their familiar spirit sitting next to them now. Now, the crazy thing. Let me put you on mute. Now, what's this? They got their familiar spirit next to them right now. Chances are, their familiar spirit gonna tell them to stop listening to me, stop listening to my particular message, because that particular spirit has the understanding that my spirit has came to be the change. That means they have to get out of that, but at the same time, I can't fight their particular demons for them. So, with that being understood, I just got to take it how it come. You heard me? I got to take it how I come and understand that I'm going to reach women that are ready to be reached in this season. Now, the ones that still supposedly operating out of pride and sin, it's not time for them. We can only pour the seeds in them. You heard me? And I'm gonna give them them seeds. You understand me? But at the same time, they got to be willing to trust. Miss Regina, it's beautiful to see you. Now, guess what, sis? The crazy thing about it, I never even started yet. That's not even what I came to talk about. You heard me? But anyway, I see we got 14 new students in the building. Watch, I'm about to start now. Watch this. For anybody that's brand new. Matter of fact, Miss Regina in the building. Watch this. Miss Regina, remember what you put out earlier? Let me give you something right back, my baby. Because I know that there were certain things that I said on your post earlier that other individuals didn't like. Because at the same time, they're only seeing what I'm saying within the spirit of their eyes, which those particular eyes live in a situation where they only love conditional. So basically, the things that I had to say, of course, they didn't understand what I was saying because they are still living in worry, doubt, and fear. But watch this, Miss Regina. Check this out. There's some people that's outside of this room right now. Now, I want you to do a video on this one. You heard me? I'm going to give you something to do a video on. Check this out. Talk to the women about this. There's some women on the outside of my live right now that never came into the room. They're watching me from the FYP, and they're blaming God for the life that they're choosing to live. I need you to write that down, Miss Regina. You heard it. What I love about this, sis, is our whole conversation with people, and they never write down what the Spirit is saying. But at the same time, sometimes I wonder, do they really believe? You heard me? Or are they basically allowing another blessing to pass? You ever notice that there's some people in this world that never even think about how many blessings that they lost or blessings that they passed up because they was looking at things through their carnal eyes? Lord have mercy. Hey, hold on. There's someone on the outside. That's right. There's someone on the outside that's blaming God for the life that they're choosing with a capital C to live. You heard me? Now, guess what? This is coming from a man. This is not coming from a male in transition. Because chances are there's some of y'all that blow up certain content on behalf of a male in transition that is preying, preying, on your emotions on behalf of what he's telling you, and you can't understand the difference between secular conversation or worldly conversation or kingdom conversation. Because you got to understand that particular life that you live in, you want kingdom treatment. You want a man to come in. You want a man to come pay you bills. You want a man to come and make you a stay-at-home housewife. And at the same time, you want all this kingdom treatment, but you don't want the kingdom. You don't even want to play your role. You heard me? Everybody plays a role in a relationship, but at the same time, if we hold a conversation, you on that telling me exactly what that man did to you, when in actuality, I'm going to ask you what's role your particular role, and then all of a sudden it's quiet. My baby, you have a role to play in this world. You are a gift to this experience of life. And at the same time, you still have yet to see yourself on that particular level. You heard me? You have yet to have a man come into your experience and tell you that you're a gift to this particular experience. And chances are you don't even know what I'm talking about. And my baby, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm really not talking to you either, because that's how deeply manipulated you are. If you can't even understand this, you heard me? My baby, listen, I'm here for you. I'm trying to be your brother. I'm looking to be some mentor. Especially, I done found me hey, sis, I found me a little young lady on here, a little thing, but you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm going to leave that alone. I found me a nice little mentee. You heard me? Allow me to mentor you. You heard me? If you want to have the understanding of how the Lord sees you, I need you to reach out to me. You heard me? But don't reach out to me for selfish reasons. You heard? Because you got to understand, you thinking that you're going to be the only one that's reaching out. My baby, no, it'll never be just you reaching out. So don't sit up here and make yourself believe that just because you're looking at this handsome face, this beard, this accent, that you're going to be able to persuade me. My baby, no, because your story is going to tell me where you're not seeing that you are a diamond rather than a victim of this particular story. So that means, let's say you would get me to be able to exchange numbers with you. If we exchange numbers, we're going to actually do some business together or something like that. You're not just going to be my friend, my baby. If you want to come into my life, you have to serve a purpose. You're not going to just come into my life to sit in here and just text. You heard me? Sit in here and just talk. My baby, I get paid for this. You heard me? The Bible says that your gift will make room for you. And at the same time, you still don't believe that you have a gift, because that's how long you've been pushing down your gift, pushing down your purpose for people, for 99%. Think about this, 99% of the people in your world that don't even know who they are. And that's how they want you to make sure that you stay as well. And I'm trying to help you up, my baby. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to give you access to a different life, because at the same time, I know what my purpose is. This is what my purpose. That's the reason why you feel the way that you feel. That's the reason why I'm able to grab you the way I'm trying to grab you. But at the same time, I need you to understand that I'm in the flesh as well. So I'm not perfect. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that I'm perfect. But at the same time, I know I can I can prepare you for your husband, my baby. If that's something that your heart desires, that might not be something your heart desires. You got to understand, because there's a lot of y'all that still ain't realized that your baby, not your baby mama, your daddy baby mama gave you what's considered as side piece vibes. Think about it. If you was raised by a side piece, my baby, you got to understand, that's not, I'm just a tomboy. That's the reason why them dudes don't take me serious. No, my baby, you got to understand, you got that side piece energy. You was raised by a side piece. So in that world, you got to remember, because I keep telling you the scripture, that he knew you intimately before you were born. Before he placed you in your mother's womb, he set you apart. That means you had an intimate relationship with the Lord before you even came into this experience. But at the same time, you keep only giving your cookie to the same dude that you like, when in actuality, you don't know how to pick men. So you keep picking the same dude in a different body. My baby, you a magician. You heard me? Think about it. My baby, you a magician in this life. You heard me? Why you not operating in your calling? Ooh, sis, please say something.
Say so. Say so. Bro, you're on fire. Listen, I talk enough. I'm blown away. Put me back on mute. Put me back on.
Nah, again, like I said, I never even started yet, sis. You heard me? Let me, hey, okay, so we got 18 people in the building. My beautiful, hey, people, it's beautiful to meet you. You heard, man? If this is your first time, you got to, listen, there's time to go pop you some popcorn. You heard me? Please go, if you're going to stick around, you've been in here for a little bit. If you're going to stick around, please go pop you some popcorn. Watch this. As I mentioned, sis, as you see, the classroom is getting bigger. Watch this. For those who have yet to experience me, I am Tommy Durrell. I focus on the mindset. I focus on changing the narrative. The Lord knows just as well as I know that 99% of the things that I'm about to say is going to go against your programming. And once it goes against your programming, just like everything else in the world that you're experiencing without the intimate relationship with God, you are basically going to overlook this conversation, just like you do on every other blessing that they still never taught you that you actually have access to see. Because in your life, I need you to understand something. You're only seeing it through your lens and your lens only. That's the reason why you're still talking about something from the past and you're actually not worrying about the future because you're only living the life waiting for your opportunity to be in the middle at the next homegoing service. Boom. That's one. You heard me? Watch this. And the beautiful thing about it is that nobody around you is even telling you this. You heard me? You sitting up there with individuals that have given up on life, but they never died yet. You heard me? Think about it. They given up on life, but the service never happened yet. You never had the opportunity to let that little t-shirt lady get that money. Because you got to understand, everybody got that little t-shirt lady that's in the neighborhood. That woman making money off of everybody. You heard me? Y'all so providing for her family on her praying, PREYING, on your particular emotions, because in the life that you live in, you have to understand. They taught you to grieve whenever somebody passed, but they also taught you that everybody goes to heaven. So if everybody goes to heaven, that means you're being selfish by sitting there and allowing yourself to cry over somebody that's getting their opportunity before you. Can we go deeper? You got to understand, I'm not here to turn you against your parents. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is get you to wake up, because think about it. You're teaching your children this. And you're one of those moms that we're going to find on social media or on the news one day talking about how you're so angry that some kid came to the school with a weapon and one of your babies are no longer here. So if you think about it, maybe about 2.5 months ago, you had an Easter egg hunt to your house. So you still in the manipulation process? Think about it. My baby, you were taught this and they teaching you the wrong stuff and you're living the wrong life. And guess what? Everybody is involved in your story that's helping you to continue to live the wrong life. Guess what? To the women that's in the back that still never came in here, guess what, my baby? That ain't got nothing to do with your baby daddy. That ain't got nothing to do with your ex-husband. That ain't got nothing to do with that man that you ended up sleeping with that you knew that was married. You heard me? That it had nothing to do with none of them, because you made yourself believe that those men hurt you when in actuality you was just hurting yourself by living the wrong life. You're living this wrong experience, my baby. Your experience needs to change. And until your experience changes, you're not going to be able to introduce yourself to a man like this that can actually see straight through you. How do you lie to me? Think about it. How can you lie? Because you got to understand, in the world, you're actually operating out of a cycle. That's all you're doing. Because guess what? If we hold a conversation, guess what? If I tell you that I'm a mindset coach here and I tell you that I'm looking for clients and I'm looking for business partners, you're going to bypass both of them because you only have that 9-to-5 mindset. Because in that mindset, you have to understand, you give away 160 of your hours with no conviction on a week-to-week basis. And guess what? Some of y'all show up early. You heard me? Y'all show up early. Y'all been doing it for years. My baby, guess what? That's why the government decided to make these people give you a raise, because they know that's just going to add time to your prison sentence. Come on, my baby. This has nothing to do with the men. This has everything to do with how you see in life. My baby, you have so much potential. I talk to the Lord about you every day before I come and get on this live, because people that already know me, they know that I'm using my particular, my story to help you with your story. But strategically, the Lord allows me to talk to the need. You heard me? Now, guess what? Like I said, sis, I still ain't even started yet. You heard me? I'm somewhere else. You heard me? Anyway, let's get this thing started since we got 20 in the building. Listen, I appreciate you for giving me your ear for a second. Now, bear with me. Check this out. I want to start a new segment that's called Sis, Can We Talk? And in this segment, now I'm already starting it off wrong. The Lord wants to start a segment that mentions, girl, can we talk? Or sis, can we talk? And what I'm going to do is, well, what he's going to do, or what his vision is, because I've seen the vision. There's a multitude of women that I've met over the course of the time that I've really been back on TikTok, and each strategic one of them has a specific story. But in that story, I'm going to tell them their story a different way and see exactly how they will choose to tell their story going forward. And as I've been watching this for quite some time now, I know that who's ready and who's not ready. Because if I know that you're not ready, my baby, you're not going to be up on this, because I need you to be able to be who you was created to be within your story, rather than you still telling that story as a victim. We're not trying to hear no victim stories up here. We trying to hear a particular story that actually gives flavor to your particular puzzle, because I'm going to give you puzzle pieces. Sis, in the scripture, it says that most water, most plant, and the God gives the increase. My baby, I'm just planting seeds over here. You heard me? Somebody else gonna water you, because if you looking at me as an individual with lust, my baby, somebody else gonna water you, and basically the Lord is going to give the increase. But I know for me, on my side of things, I got to plant the seeds. You heard me? Because at the same time, I need you to understand that we're all farmers. You heard me? Everything we speak are seeds, and they grow positively or negatively depending on the mindset of the individual that's actually absorbing the information. Lord have mercy. Hey, is somebody getting something out of this? You heard me? And I'll bet you, guess what? Y'all not writing nothing this time. Anyway, sis, let me get to what I'm going to. So tonight, I'm going to give y'all, now sis didn't know nothing about this, I'm going to give y'all a piece of what I'm trying to, or what the Lord is trying to do. You see how I'm not perfect. I'm trying. You heard me? I have to submit. I want his will for my life. I just want to be able to be an open vessel, a willing vessel to give you the information that he's trying to give you in this season. So who am I to come to you with a live that has no structure? I had nothing to talk about. I'm just sitting here waiting for people to come in the room and all this other. No, my baby. Hey, listen, I'm in my own lane. I don't have to wait. I don't have to hear what somebody else said on one of their lives and then come and say it on one of my lives. No, my baby, I'm unique. You heard me? The Lord made me in his unique image. You heard me? You're made in his unique image as well. But at the same time, you're choosing not to operate out of that. You're choosing the world over the love of the Lord, and he the one that sent you. And think about it. In that life that you're living, watch this, kids. Watch this. They got somebody, look, somebody just came into the FYP, y'all. Watch what my spirit just caught. Watch this. They got somebody that's outside the live right now. And she's hearing this. But at the same time, I probably won't even hear from about maybe 2 months from now. Because you got to understand, she lived that busy life, but that busy life has nothing to do with her purpose. So she's a corporate woman. You heard me? She can't be seen on some of these particular lives. Oh, no, you must be crazy. She can't be seen on these lives because she's amongst of the many. And in her pride is telling her that she's heard me say before that life is like Tetris. When you fit in, you disappear. And she didn't got to understand that if she come in here, then the bottom of her name gonna come in that she was in the room. But at the same time, she won't say that because she going through something right now with the mind, with the familiar spirit right now. She's going through something with him. And she's listening to what I'm saying, and it sounds beautiful, and she wants to hear more. But at the same time, now, whenever she go in the room, she gonna have to pretend like she in there and not where she at with me. You heard me? Sis, I'm telling you, Lord, I'm telling you, they got to pretend. She's going to pretend that she wants to be in there with him, when in actuality, she wants to be back in this room with me. You heard me? My baby, this is my classroom. I'm here, but I'm here for you. You may not even understand why I'm trying to get this out you like this. You heard me? You got to understand, there's people that came before, but in those people that came before, every individual was just a class that you were taking. And you were supposed to be learning, because you remember when you graduated high school, if you did, because I'm not going to judge you, because you got to think they taught you or they made you think that you had it all figured out anyway. My baby, you didn't know nothing. You heard, man? You didn't graduate high school. Nobody's still not going to blame you. But at the same time, the reason why you had all them cheering is because that's a part of your calling. That's a part of your particular reason why you're actually operating in this experience. You heard me? That's a part of your purpose. But you still not seeing it like that, because it's cool to go meet your ride or die for her birthday at the club again this year. My baby, no. Your ride or die is helping you to stay stuck in this life right here. Your ride or die don't want you to change. And guess what? Since she don't want you to change and you never left home, remember, the people that persuaded you not to leave home, there's a lot of you that I'm still coming across. Oh, I'm from such and such. I'm from such and such. My baby, it sounds like you still over there, when in actuality, you're trying to figure out life, but you stayed home. My baby, watch this. They manipulated you into staying home and then taught you to cry whenever they leave your story. Sis, talk to me. Hey, give me something. Oh, my goodness. Whew. Hey.
Listen,
Mhm.
listen. You got me mind
Sis,
blown over here. Do it. Do it.
sis, I
I
never.
ain't talking.
Hey,
I'm done. I'm listening. I'm a
hey,
listener.
I still never even started yet. You heard me? Anyway, I
Yeah.
got you, sis. I got you. All right. As I mentioned, I never started yet. I told you it was time for you to go get you some popcorn, baby. You heard me? Because guess what? This is another thing I need you to understand before I start my first episode or my first question on behalf of Sis Can We Talk. For those of y'all that's in the room that's looking at me in lust, let me tell you what your situation is. You still have yet to understand that every man that you like back is the one that supposedly broke your heart. Don't let that go over your head. Every man that you like back, because you got to understand, you're only thinking about teachers that you had sex with in that class. But what about the other dudes that was trying to be your friend or trying to get to know you? You didn't have time for them because look at where you wanted to be. Or better yet, it says the ones that's in the back that it's time for them to go in the room, or they got me on low. You heard me? Whatever the situation is, she want to be in here with us. You heard me, my baby? This is a community. We love to have you. Go ahead and follow. You heard me? I got bangers like this on a day-to-day basis. I'm really accepting my call. You heard me? You got to understand, some of y'all would never hope or never accept that your baby daddy became this after being with you. You heard, my baby? You was just a placeholder in that season. You don't know what a placeholder is. I need you to go look it up, because you operated in the role, because guess what? That's the same thing that your mama did. And chances are you live in one of your mom or your daddy particular life right now. Just like, for instance, watch this. There's some of you who had married parents, but at the same time, in that marriage, they was only together because they said they was going to stick around for the children. Ooh, Lord have mercy. So you had you had the slightest idea on why they was focusing so much on sending you off to college. You heard me? You think that your family just loved you to death. You heard me? They did everything that they could for you and all this. My baby, no. Because guess what? However, your particular relationship, your first relationship, let's say your mom and your daddy was pretending. And then let's say, if you think about it, some of y'all in that situation right now, you're pretending for them children. My baby, guess what? How much time do you really have left to pretend? Because you got to understand, you put yourself in a marriage, so now you can't get out of it, because guess what? Your family taught you to be loyal, but you're being loyal to the wrong things. Think about it, the divorce rate already high, so why not add your name to the list? So what? It is what it is. Because guess what? Your mama them did it. So all you're going to do is make yourself believe that you're a generational curse breaker when in actuality, you're being loyal to a situation that was never yours. You were only being taught by the Lord what they were lying to you about whenever you was coming up. Don't let that go. Please write that down, my baby. I'm giving you conversations we would have if I was coaching you. You heard, man? So please write it down. You heard me? It's gonna be beautiful. You're gonna need this. You're gonna need this within the rest of your journey. You heard me? I'm telling you, you're gonna need it because you still thinking that there's a reason why you ready to get divorced, and you probably told him you wanted a divorce, and he told you no. So you like, okay, cool. Well, we're gonna just stay. We're gonna stay married. No, my baby. There's a reason why the divorce has to happen. It has to happen in your story the way that it's happening. So that way you can get on the boat like Jonah to go to change, or you can stay stuck in the misery of basically only thinking that the Lord is his fault because you chose to live the life that you live in. Not because you got all these kids. Who's going to take care of these kids? Who married them? Think about it. You wasn't able to catch your mind. You were supposed to catch your mind the first time. You keep taking the test over again and you want to blame men. No, baby. Let me get to what I wanted to get to. As I mentioned to y'all, the Lord wants to start a, I guess you can say it's, I have a couple of people on some type of platform, you heard, man, where I'm going to have a certain type of woman that's going to come to the stage with me. It might be two of them, maybe three. It depends on who is ready, because I'm not going to just bring anybody before y'all. You heard me? Because you got to understand, scripture says that you judge a tree by its fruit. So if you tell me that the Lord is your savior and you believe that Jesus died on the cross on behalf of your sins, then why am I sitting here checking out your children doing little demonic TikTok dances on behalf of your page? Think about it. This is what you're promoting. So you'll pass by a strip club and you will see a couple of strippers and you'll judge them, when in actuality, my baby, so what's the difference? You heard me? You're only operating out of a spirit that you still have yet to understand that it came from think about it. You keep lying to men telling them that you're single, when in actuality, every male in transition that you've had sex with in this life has completed the assignment in the spiritual realm of giving you what separated you from your firstborn child. What separated you? The umbilical cord. My baby, every male in transition in that life that you're experiencing had or connected with you on an umbilical cord in the spirit realm. So guess what, sis? They got one that's sitting there. She married right now. She she don't know what's going on with their relationship. She hearing this, and now she just found out that it's not just her husband that supposedly cheated. My baby, you came into this marriage with all them umbilical cords too. So how can you blame him for his? The Bible says, how it go? The first without sin cast the first stone, or however it go. My baby, think about it. In that life, you keep saying that it's all about the pee in the dating pool. You still on these dating websites. My baby, that's free prostitution. What's the difference? Think about it. You end up connecting with somebody that somebody supposedly take you out. You keep getting these free meals, and then you want to come to us talking about you overweight. You want to come to us talking about you go and have surgery or whatever the situation. And my baby, listen, it don't matter what your situation is, as long as that mind does not change. Guess what? Ain't nothing gonna change. You can be 400 pounds, go sit up there, pay all that money, or guess what? To the BBLs that's in the back. My baby, you ever thought about what that's gonna look like when you become a grandmother? And guess what? Grandmothers are starting at a low rate at 35, 36 these days. You heard me? My baby, are you thinking about that? You don't think about none of that because you're trying to impress people in a world that none of them people know who they are. So how are you doing this? And you're doing it so faithfully, my baby. I'm telling you, you're a magician. So what's going to happen is I'm going to give you a portion of what the Lord has given me on behalf of Sis. Can we talk? Watch this. Sis, there are so many preachers and pastors preaching and teaching all over the country on a day-to-day basis. But you want to know what's crazy about that? They doing everything that they're doing to so many people that's pretending to be okay. When in actuality, my baby, what your heart said, think about it. You believe that you go to the best church ever. There are certain things around the continent that you know that as is of the Lord that you would love to go to. But at the same time, you're being seen by the wrong people. Because now I just told you, I want the recap. Listen to the recap of what I just told you. I just told you that you're believing in the Lord and you're around other individuals that's in the church setting that are saying that they're anointed and they can't think about it. You say you got an amazing relationship with the first lady, but guess what? The first lady can't even tell you living the wrong life. My baby, so guess what? You keep buying her stuff for all her birthday parties and all this other stuff, my baby. That woman don't even care about you. You heard me? That woman, what's the difference? What's the difference between the neighborhood hole in the wall club that you used to go to and the church? You got to understand, the church is gathering people, and don't think I'm talking about the church. I'm not talking about the church. I'm telling you how you think in that particular world. And I'm trying to show you it's a different way of looking at it. But the difference between the hole in the wall church, the hole in the wall club and the church is that one family is putting all their children through the classes and the schools that you want to put your children through. And you're still not seeing it. You heard me. You still supported this particular endeavor. So, like I said, I'm not talking about the church because people take that serious. See how the number dropped. People don't like that, which is cool because guess what? All they're doing is being on the outside. It's cool because my baby, this is going to be like medicine. I got to give you this medicine because at the same time, nobody giving it to you. But like I said, so many pastors and preachers teaching all over the country and doing so to many who are pretending to be okay. If I had a panel right now, I'd let them women go crazy because guess what? They'll all have something to say, but at the same time, they would only want to tell me what their mind is telling me. When I'm going to get this panel going, I'm going to stop them because I know the difference between when you're talking through your mind and when you're talking through your heart. And in this situation, my baby, I want to talk to your heart. I don't want to talk to your mind because every other man you let talk to your mind. And guess what they got you? You heard me? All that did was made you blame him. My baby, I got to be different. I can't give it to you the same way. You heard me? Because now you're going to try to fit me into your schedule. No, you can't fit me into your schedule because I'm telling you, I'm a coach. And outside of that, we're going to do business together. If you don't want to do business, my baby, that means the conversation end right there. And you can still have the phone number. It's cool. But at the same time, I know where the Lord is taking me. And you've never experienced a man that's going somewhere. He only wanted to know if you wanted to go to your favorite restaurant. My baby, listen, my particular calling is geared towards women too. You heard me? I know what I'm here for. You heard me? But at the same time, if you can't handle a man that's going to be connected to a multitude of women, you don't need to be around me. You're going to break your own heart. And then you're going to try to call you. You're going to, hey, sis, they're going to tell their children that it was me. You heard me? Oh, they're going to tell their children it was me. My baby, no, it wasn't me. You heard me? What's this? They're doing it to individuals who are pretending to be okay. When in actuality, my baby, what your heart said, you heard me. Chances are you need to get off this live right now because I want you to think about what I just said. You heard me? They got some of y'all that already got titles on the outside, but at the same time, on the inside, it's the only place you supposedly operate in your title. And then when it comes to us, we can't even get no wisdom from you because you still battling with that demon of being quiet. Staying quiet, just like your mama taught you. That's the reason why they didn't sit up. That's the reason why your daddy supposedly didn't want to be around. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with how bitter your mama became, because you became bitter as well. And all you keep saying is that I'm not going to live my mama life, when in actuality, that's the life that you live in. But guess what? None of them new dudes know that. You heard me? That's the reason why you keep manipulating. So listen, sis, watch this. I believe that this is where the demise happened, because I had a group of sisters at a point in time a couple of weeks back, or maybe like a month ago. And when I said this, all of a sudden the conversation started getting a little different around there. You heard me? It's like, I don't hear from nobody no more. Nigga, you just check up on me or whatever. They don't do that no more, because this is what I told them. You've been married before, and now you're divorced. You still don't have an intimate relationship with God. So as long as you don't have an intimate relationship with God, that means the man that you married, you manipulated him into marrying you. Because at the same time, he only went with it because he was a familiar spirit. And that familiar spirit becomes a monitoring spirit as soon as y'all get married, because the monitoring spirit has to be a part of the family that y'all was never supposed to be a part of. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Scripture says that he knew you intimately before you were born. Before you were placed in your mother's womb, he set you apart. So that means out of the intimate relationship you had with God, you told God that regardless of what these people would have tried to do to you, you were still going to wake up one day and accept your particular call, because now you see it from a distance now. You're not a part of it no more, because what I need to understand, he set you apart. You never came to be family. So if you set you apart from the story, if you look at your story from the outside now, and understand that your life was just a movie, and in that particular movie, there's people that had to come and play a specific role in that particular play or in that particular season, because it's all classes. So whatever role they played in that class, they had to play that. It's not saying that they was against you. You mad because your uncle supposedly touched you as a little girl. He had to play that role because they taught you how to keep your circle small. That's why that had to happen like that. So you still looking at your uncle, or your uncle gone after all these days, and you still holding resentment for your cousins. For what? My baby, your cousins had nothing to do with none of that. That had to happen the way that it happened, because that's a set of people that you got to talk to as well. My baby, the Lord sent you here for a designed purpose. And you still sitting here trying to act like you don't know what you're supposed to do. Act like you don't know what your particular identity is in the Lord. Act like you don't know that you don't have an actual identity, period. Because some of y'all are operating out of your slave name, that nickname, that your particular, think about it. Whatever your nickname is, whatever your favorite uncle, favorite aunt that gave you that nickname, my baby, understand that they'll never be able to see you how God sent you to be. You came to be the change. You never came to be family. Since you came to be family, now you got to pretend to be around somebody, that one of your aunties or your uncles. Why pretend? My baby, that's not what you came here to do. You came to be the change. You came to endure the same thing that the Lord endured. But at the same time, you want to continue to blame men. You want to continue to talk about there's pee in the pool. My baby, the men that's in your pool, you don't want the men, you heard me? Some people don't eat catfish because catfish swim in the dirtiest water. My baby, you catching catfish. That's all you doing. Because guess what? You pretending and they pretending. So y'all pretending together. Y'all decide to put a title on it. You decided to get pregnant like you didn't know he was hitting you without no rubber. You heard, man. And the situation happened the way the situation happened. And it wasn't for you to be bitter. It was for you to talk to the other young girls that got pregnant too at that particular age. But at the same time, you still seeing yourself as a victim in that particular story, when in actuality, that was a part of your calling for you to accept and help others with that same particular situation. But at the same time, you thinking that you here Watch this, sis. They got somebody that's on the outside right now. She thinking that she here to take care of her mom and them because her mom and them got older or her dad them got old. My baby, that's not for you. What that's doing is, think about it. You got brothers and sisters. Why they not going? Because they don't have no interest, because they know you have a heart for people and you came to be the change. But at the same time, you still believe that you got to be loyal to the particular individuals, when in actuality, the particular individuals is making sure that you don't make the decision that they never made by leaving them and going ahead and living the life that the Lord was supposed to live. Just think, when Jesus' mama came, where were you? I've been looking for you forever. Woman, why are you looking for me? I am about my Father's business. When will you be about your Father's business? But at the same time, you're saying you want to be married. You heard me? My baby, please, don't try to come and... How you ready to be married? That's not by design, not yet. Think about it. If we was never supposed to experience relationships until we figured out our call or purpose, then how much of your life will we be able to erase right now? Think about it. My baby, you're living the wrong life. You heard me? Now, sis, as we mentioned, we know Kimberly J in the building, beautiful people. Kimberly J, is beautiful to see you. Kimberly J, what we talking about right now is so many pastors and preachers are teaching all over the country. And they're doing so. You see when my sister come in the room, you see how she do that? Yeah, y'all both the same. Y'all like to, hey, just come in there, want everybody to know that you're in here. You heard me? Know that we talking. We talking, and look at that. Look, making all that noise. You heard me? At least stop one before then it close. You heard me? Let somebody else do it. No, they want to do it themselves. You heard me? And I love y'all. You heard me? I love y'all. You heard me? Kimberly J, we're talking about pastors and preachers that go and teach all over the world, all over the country, and they're doing so to so many that are pretending to be okay. When in actuality, my baby, what your heart saying about it? You heard, man? Think about it. Let's go into part 2, because this is Kimberly J. This is what's considered as Sis Can We Talk. I'm trying to give them a preview of what's to come. Now, mind you, we've been on this thing for about an hour and something at this point, but let me go ahead and change my little goal right quick. You heard me? Let me see if we can get the Lord some roses. You heard, man? Because y'all, I'm telling y'all, this has nothing to do with me. If you come try to talk to me about what I was talking about tonight, you're going to have to tell me, because the Spirit is leading. So the interesting thing about it, sis, is this. They go to church periodically. I gotta add some air in here, you heard? Sis, they go to church periodically. You heard me? They love their pastor. They love their first lady. They love the actual title that these individuals given them. But at the same time, first lady and the pastor still don't know that they have all these little voices that's in their head that's keeping them from creating their own identity within this experience. Hey, sis, listen. I may just stop right there. I don't even need to give no wisdom on that.
Bro.
Talk to me. I got you off of mute. Talk to me. Let's hear this. You heard me?
Bro. I'm letting you knock sleeves off shoulders. Go for it. You're doing it.
Hey,
You're doing it.
man.
You're doing
real.
it. Hey, put me back on mute. Let me scream out on.
All right. Sis, listen. How many of them do you believe? Because now listen, for the ones that's in the room, I got their attention now. You heard me? I know I got their attention, because at first they got somebody that's in here, they've been overlooking me. You heard me? They've been, yeah, okay, coach, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. No, my baby, the Lord created this. You heard me? And I've been running from this. I've been supposed to be this dude. I'm not the type of dude that you can really just tie down because I live by Romans 12 and 2 on a day-to-day basis. So if you ask me how I'm doing today, and if you ask me how I'm doing tomorrow, I'm no longer that same dude. It's not supposed to be like that because if you understand, they taught you how to eat 3 meals a day when in actuality, my baby, that's not changing nothing. You got to understand, if you take 2 particular meals, either your whatever you like to eat lunch, eat, that's your only meal for the day. If you like to eat dinner, don't eat until dinner. But if you know that you don't eat breakfast and you know that you don't eat lunch, don't let people influence you in your particular journey on behalf of what you're trying to do, because at the same time, all you got to do is use the word of the Lord on behalf of the meal that you actually want to receive. But at the same time, you don't have the courage for that because you like to listen to secular music. You like to listen to all this trap music and all this other stuff. Think about it. So that's what that's what you got your children listening to? We see what's taking place. That's the reason why your particular profile is actually operating out of confusion. Every one of your social media profiles operate out of confusion, and there's nobody that's telling you this. One day you got your children doing demonic dances. The next day you supposedly praising the Lord. The next week, all of a sudden, you praying on your message, because what happened was, sis, the weekend before, she seen somebody that started doing a little prayer and they got a lot of likes, and she said, well, let me go ahead and try that. I want to go viral too. No, my baby, that's not your role. You got to understand, the Lord can't send the increase until you're ready. You heard, man? Nah, then all of a sudden, since they got the ones that's going to put themselves in self-isolation after this. You heard? They're going to put themselves in self-isolation. They're going to be like, none of the little dudes that I'm talking to right now can talk to me this long and hold an intelligent conversation. They got a little woman that told me, she said, you have to be like, how she said that? Emotional intelligence 2.0. I said, no, my baby, I'm 2.5. You heard me? Because I can't be like everybody else. I got to be different. You heard me? So watch this. All of a sudden, they're going to put themselves in self-isolation. Now, they don't even know that there's a term, but this is what it is. For the ones that's in the back, remember, not everybody gonna come in the room. So for those of y'all that's in the back, watch this. You supposedly shut everybody down and thinking that you're doing something, when in actuality, that's some bottom of the barrel dudes anyway. So you're in your single season talking about this is my healing journey, while you and your homegirl supposedly at Mexico and California or some exotic island and all this. My baby, so you healing out there too? You heard me? Oh, you traveling in the midst of you supposedly healing. Well, guess what? You still have yet to realize that everybody that's following you gets to go on them trips too. So they don't have to travel. Like, for instance, they got some of y'all that's these little travel agents. Y'all connected to the travel company. My baby, small minds don't have to travel. And they got you as the access. Now you thinking that you getting all these friend requests because you blowing up. No, my baby. They just trying to see where you going so that way they can have a different experience. Them people going home to be miserable just like you, and you're not holding these conversations. Sis, they go to church periodically, and the pastor, as well as the first lady, still don't know about all these voices in their heads that's keeping them from creating their identity in this experience. You want to create an identity to TikTok, but at the same time, that's not even who you are. Think about it. You're trying to, there's some of y'all that got the TikTok shop. There's some of y'all, whatever lane you in. Understand this. Until you understand that, until you start telling your story, these people not going to realize why they following you. So, one, you supposedly got you and your husband doing something. I see the new trend about a pretend girlfriend that supposedly come kiss or whatever the deal is. People that's following trends. My baby, I can't follow you back because potentially you're going to put that type of stuff on my FYP. And I'm not interested in the stuff that's going on in the world. And what's so crazy about it, you already telling me that you're of the world whenever you forward me a particular message. Why did this catch your attention? And if I was to ask you, then you would have to lie to me. When in actuality, my baby, you of the world. So what's this particular, what's this God that you're talking about? You heard me? Think about it. What's this God that you're talking about? If you've been listening to my message with the carnal mindset, my baby, that's the reason why you're not getting nothing out of it. If you listen to my message with the religious mindset, because you got to understand, the Lord didn't send us here to be religious, but at the same time, somehow you're religious. You'll get a few things out of this because it's going to make sense. But if you listen to my message with the spiritual mindset, I'm giving you so many puzzle pieces at one time. You heard me? My baby, I'm telling you, I can heal you in just a conversation. But at the same time, it's all about you seeing it a different direction, because I'm going to give you your same story that you tell me, and I'm going to tell it to you from the Lord's lens. And now you have a decision to make. Which life are you going to live? And I have to be okay with you still choosing to live the life that you live in right now, because you're not ready for change. And nobody know that, not even your children. And guess what? You never knew your mom or them either, because none of them accepted their call. So they only gave you a percentage of them the same way you giving your particular children. And at the same time, you still don't accept the fact that you are a part of a corporation that's a lineage that is designed to kill the spirit of the next generation. That's the reason why the devil don't have to touch certain families, because he know the older generation going to talk the next generation out the promise. And you riding right along with it. And guess what? As I mentioned, this has nothing to do with your baby daddy or your ex-husband. This has everything to do with you, my baby. This is the reason why men don't really follow me, because they know if they know that y'all following this out, that means they can't talk to none of y'all in here, unless you got that low vibration spirit and you're going to still accept them in the inbox. You heard, man? Just like, for instance, sis, guess what? I was holding a conversation with a little chick last night in the DM, you heard, man? And what's so crazy about it, on one of her pieces of content, she had a voiceover saying something about she was a how she said that, or how did the thing say that? They say that she's a hustler. So I got into the inbox and I'm like, it's crazy. I watch your particular clip. I see, you know what I'm saying, you did your thing on there. I'm here, you know what I'm saying, I'm either looking for clients or business partners. So long story short, I started explaining, you know, I don't like how TikTok got it set up. They need to give us like a voice recording here. You heard, man? Because all this texting all the time, get tired texting them little women like that, because a lot of them really, some of them things be trying to sit up there and send me these little acronyms, and I gotta go look that stuff up to find out what that is they talking about in that world. You heard, man? Hey, it be a struggle sometimes, sis. But anyway, watch this. Them things be up here not realizing that they're not talking to a regular dude. And I'm not sitting here with pride, because I know what my identity is. And until you know your identity, you're not going to feel like this either. Think about it. You feeling like that in that world where them people don't even know who they are, and you be fussing with them. They can go ahead and get you to curse and act out and all this stuff on social media, and them people don't even know who they are. They're not even trying to help you, because guess what? The type of music you listen to and the type of people that you hang around, I have a question for you. Are these individuals taking you to or further away from the Lord? You still got friends that y'all only sin together when y'all together. My baby, you're not going to get help like that. That's not going to heal you. The healing comes into the mind. You heard, man? But my baby, I need you to understand, what is your heart saying about all this? If I don't hear from you, it's cool. You heard me? I understand. But do me a favor. Start telling these men what this is. Don't sit up there and go and try to manipulate those you already have manipulated through your social media platforms or through your particular contacts. Think about it. You have people manipulated. That's the reason why you can't tell what a narcissist is, because you operate out that same particular spirit. You heard, man? And if I sit back and tell you that Obviously, somebody in here dealt with the narcissist. So if I sit back and tell you that your favorite TikTok coaches, on behalf of narcissism, there's narcissistic coaches here, on behalf of your favorite ones, I can guarantee you that they have never told you what I'm going to say next. I can guarantee you that they never told you that the reason why you operated within a narcissist, got with a particular narcissist, is because you was raised by one. Now, if you really think about it, who told you that? None of them gonna go. They not gonna say that, because guess what? You funneling money. You funneling money. They gonna always keep it like that. They doing you the same way how every other situation going. That's why I keep telling you that the church is connected to the umbrella of the family. Because if you think about it, the church has all the families in the community. So how are they a part of the particular family? They're particularly a part of the family because they don't teach change. They don't teach healing. You keep showing up to these people. Think about it. You'll never turn away from your pastor. You'll never turn away from your first lady. You'll never turn away from your mom and them. You'll never turn away from your dad and them. And at the same time, all these people lying to you. Too, Lord have mercy, sis. I got you off mute, my baby. Talk to me.
Me? Listen, I'm listening. I'm not interrupting your speech. No, I'm here to hear. Get me back on mute. Just let me wild out over here.
Got you. Now, here's the deal. Look at what Kimberly J said in the chat. Now, I'm going to teach y'all something. Watch this. Kimberly J is an individual that's strong on faith. I love the way she thinks. She's a chosen one. You heard me? I know that she's chosen. And at the same time, I got to respect her for how she thinks. Because at the same time, the Lord gave us free will, people. So whatever it is you choose to think, you operate in that particular level. Don't allow yourself to think small in one area and high in another area, because now you got to sit up there and try to figure out why this muscle not growing. And the reason why it's not growing is because you're afraid to change the people in your story. And when in actuality, every day you're only one person away from changing your life. Only one. Because a lot of them are in business. But at the same time, they don't promote their business because they're still not comfortable with in branding themselves. My baby, you brand you before you brand the business. Think about it. They got some people fooled on here. They up there getting all this TikTok stuff to their house, and the people just, all them Amazon boxes keep showing up, and that house, that's some hoarders. They're actually operating in the hoarder particular spirit, and these people are not realizing that they're teaching them how to be hoarders. Think about it. My baby, what can you do with all that? You don't send nothing back. That's the reason why they give it to you for free. What you gonna do with all that? You got the people believing that you're selling that. You're not selling that. All you doing is being an extension of something that you don't want to change about yourself. Because guess what? Every relationship that you've experienced, let's say you're married currently, but you're feeling like this relationship not supposed to work out. My question to you is, did your mom and them relationship work out? If your answer is yes, my mother, because think about it, sis, I ran across a lady profile the other day. That woman said that her parents been married for 43 years. And I got in her inbox. I said, wow. I said, man, I'm only 42. So that's a beautiful thing. But check this out. Some of them will say, well, that's not the generational curse of my family because my mother and them been together for 43 years. Yeah, but what's this, my baby? Every male that you had sex with, you basically created an umbilical cord. And in that umbilical cord, whatever that individual was doing in the dark now became your light. But you're still not seeing that. You connected yourself to a multitude of people because every person you have sex with, now you have sex with every person they had sex with, because just like I'm telling you, you created the particular umbilical cord in the spirit realm, and now y'all are all operating, y'all vibrating and all this other stuff. You're bringing, think about it. A matter of fact, let me catch your attention. Watch this, sis. I know how to catch it. Watch this. The last funeral that you went to, they taught you to cry over somebody that only left y'all with the demonic doors that they opened before they left through their whole life. You heard, man? That's the reason why your life got to be so hard. You know that you're the chosen one, but at the same time, in you being the chosen one, I need you to understand as soon as you accept your call fully, if you're a chosen one, I need to talk to you too. But at the same time, don't come to me with your screen name saying chosen, and then I come to your page and there's nothing that you've ever said on here. Oh no, you just know how to type. That's all you know how to do. Don't try to persuade me. You heard me? Or you do because you don't even know. But maybe in the chat, you heard me. Maybe they'll talk in the chat. Outside of that, them people are still individuals who have basically still haven't forgiven everybody in their story. And I ask them that, and they still feel like they gotta lie to me. Come on, man. Dog, why? Why not forget anybody that still have their mother? Now, like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm not trying to turn you away from your parents. Matter of fact, sometimes you got to tell them, you got to show them, in order for them to believe, sis. You heard me? What I'm telling you is, I'm not trying to turn you away from your parents. What I'm trying to do is make you aware that your particular parents are the reason why you're living the wrong life. Because they live the wrong life, as hard as that's here to say, because you got to understand, they're a part of the pipeline of making sure that the next generation spirits get basically canceled and never accept their particular call. You heard me? So, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Hey, since I remember when, the crazy thing about it is like, I remember when I was in the world and I broke a lot of hearts. You heard me? I broke a lot of hearts to the point to where there's women still present day that'll never hold a conversation with me. But at the same time, they remember me back when I was in my 20s. Now I'm in my 40s. I'm a totally different dude now. So at the same time, what these ladies are not realizing is that what they did back in their 20s or in their early 30s, not realizing that this is what happened. If you are a young mother, if you had a child at 15, this is what I need to encourage you with. If you had a child at 15 or 16, understand that the people that's in your story basically didn't tell you that originally you would piss away 10 years once you get to your 20s. So in the midst of you taking care of children between 15 and continuing, that means you missed what our particular experience was by not having children until my son, that was back, I was 28. I was 28 when he came, because he came in October of 2011. So I was 28 years old by the time he came. So by 28, from 15 to 20, that was 13 years. So in 13 years, you got a 13-year-old. So there's a certain amount of things that you've been missing out on. That's the reason. That's another reason why your marriage couldn't work, my baby, because your little nappy head homegirls that was living the wrong life on the outside had you believing that you needed to come over there where they was at, and you believed that, and you went on ahead and left your family hostage. You heard me? And you blamed it on that man. Oh, sis, and hey, I'm gonna have to. They ain't gonna like me no more. You heard? I gotta be stopped. You heard, man? They got some people that'll never talk to me again. You heard, man? And I got to respect that, because at the same time, I have to love them with the love of the Lord. You heard, man? And as long as I don't see myself being the image of God, because that's something like with Kimberly J. Kimberly J, she came into my life, you heard me, at the right time, to where that little woman, she's so proper. You heard me? She got a little proper little accent or whatever the situation is, but that thing she be on point. And I can't tell her, because now, you know what I'm saying, she gonna be trying to, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I gotta keep it 100, you heard me? But anyway, so she's teaching me all this stuff, you heard me? And that shows me that there's still people that don't believe in destiny helpers. And as long as they don't believe in destiny helpers, that the Lord is going to send certain individuals in certain seasons where you need something, because you got to understand, some of y'all like these hood mentality dudes. And the beautiful thing about the hood mentality dude is that chances are he has a beautiful mind. It's just that his surroundings has created what they told him that all he can have. But that's not saying that's not even who the dude is. So you'll see this dude as a hardcore dude, when in actuality, I see this dude that has a brilliant mind. and just need a little guidance. If I can give him that guidance, that means I help another soul. But guess what? He has to actually operate with young girls that are pretending to be women, because in the world it says that females mature faster than males. So these dudes have to operate with females in transition and then get blamed over something that was designed to do on behalf of the actual lineage. It had nothing to do with their situation. It had only to do, okay, look, sis, I know you know what I'm saying, you don't put your time in, but guess what, my baby, we get close. You heard me? It's a chance that me and you have to have a seed. And it may be a chance that you're going to turn on me and tell the world that I treated you wrong. Because you got to understand, it's all about the soul contract. Whatever the soul contract said, whatever the story is on the scroll of the soul contract. So when it comes towards the familiar spirit, the female has to be a certain way, the male has to be a certain way. But anyway, me and you come into that situation. That's all we came into that situation for, because we decided to do our own will and not allow the Lord. So the Lord had to try to break it up some way, somehow. She thinking that she made, you know what I'm saying, she made that decision. Think about it. They told them children that the father didn't want to be involved to protect the particular understanding that they didn't want to change. You heard me? And there's fathers out here that has to play that particular role, but they don't know that they have to play that particular role because they're never going to accept their call on behalf of what that woman said to them. And it's not just that woman, it's what their mama said to them too. So instead of them being their mama's son, they became their mama's little boyfriend. So he can only do what the mama allowed because that's his first girlfriend. And a lot of people will not understand. A lot of women will not understand that they have that mother spirit. Okay, because they come from a strong mother. That mama, she was working, you know what I'm saying, 2 or 3 jobs, whatever the deal is, she provided. That's what she did. So she had that mother figure, because what happened was her mother was going to work and made her take care of her siblings while she was at work, not realizing that was just preparing you for the males that you were going to actually attract, because Big Mama never said that like spirits attract. She only said that Papa was a rolling stone. So every male that you operated in, he was only looking for a woman that had a mother figure instead of a wife. So you keep getting mad. The reason why you're not getting married, because you keep attracting those men. You don't want to change your perfume, my baby. You heard, man? My baby, whatever that perfume is that you like, look at it on the counter or look at it on your dresser. My baby, drop that in the trash can, because until you basically change your... I'm not talking about changing your perfume, my baby. What's this? Because they got some in the back. They're going to be like, oh, he told me to throw my stuff away. No, my baby, listen to what I'm saying. Until the mindset changes, nothing changes. So just think, if you had a beautiful mind like this, with that scent, that's your signature scent. Lord have me. Think about it. You make them ball weak whenever you go ahead and wear that. You heard me? It don't even matter. They be other men. You heard me? You know you wear what you wear because you know what you got going on. But at the same time, my baby, guess what? I'm seeing content that says something about black men supposedly don't talk to black women or try to holler at black women no more. And the issue about that is you'll feed into that. When in actuality, my baby, I need you to understand that we're all spirits having a human experience. So if you still believe in your story about color, then you missing exactly what the Lord is trying to do within your life. You heard me? Think about it. If you see color on a day-to-day basis, my baby, that's distractions. The devil operates in distractions. If he can hold you hostage, think about it, you'll blow up some content. You'll share it with everybody, at least 50. You'll make sure you put that particular content out. Why? You got to understand, why does your spirit operate like that? Why do you still feel you should dress your little daughter in tights whenever y'all go out somewhere? You got your tights on, she got her tights on. Think about it. There's predators out there, and you putting this on your little girl. My baby, stop doing that. And then guess what, sis? They're gonna be on the news talking about it's so wrong that man took my child. Who dressed her? Who taught her how to dress? You heard me? Think about it. That's the reason. Think about it. That's not your daughter. That's your little sister. Your little sister got she got kidnapped. You heard me? That's how you treated her. Be these children parents, because guess what? You're only operating out of the spirit that they taught you to operate out of. That's it. Lord have mercy. Hey, I don't know who's in the building. You heard me? I hope I have some beautiful people in the building. I sure hope that there's something that's being said that's going to help you to see your life in a different perspective. Because if this is your first time coming across my live, Songbird, it's beautiful to see you. If this is your first time coming across my live, my baby, welcome. You heard me? It's beautiful to have you. I need you to understand that you just went through another day that you've never experienced, and some way, somehow, you still came out to be the same. My baby, who is that helping? How many times are you going to live this cycle? How many times are you going to basically be off on weekends and then double back go into depression on Sunday evenings on behalf of something that you don't want to do no longer? My baby, I got a question for you and I need you to write it down. At what age, it don't matter where you at right now, at what age do you plan on retiring and only working out of your call and purpose? Don't let that go over your head. At what age do you plan on retiring and only working out of your call or purpose? I never thought about that, bro. My baby, because you got to understand, the men are making sure that you don't think about that either, because, my baby, everybody in your story is involved. You heard me? Everybody's making sure that you don't learn none of this. And guess what? There's nobody that taught you nothing until tonight. Because guess what? Watch this. The last time you experienced the present moment was tonight, because the Lord been talking to you. But guess what? When was the last time you ever experienced the present moment? Because all you do is feed your mind the past, and you accept calls from individuals that just want to feed your mind of the past, and you have still yet to understand that you got to speak Romans 12:2 to them as well. You got to at least be able to plant that particular seed in that individual, but at the same time, all you're accustomed to doing is feeding a man through his stomach or between his legs. Outside of that, you don't feed them spiritually. So you never deal with actual men that actually wants to feed you spiritually, because you don't have nothing to offer in that particular area, because your mama taught you to do what? Shake your money maker. You heard me? My baby, I'm not here to turn you against your parents. What I'm here to do is to help you to become the change. And there's no other man that's going to be in. They got some other dudes. They got some dudes that's spitting some good bars in here, but I'm in my own lane. I don't know what them ball talking about. You heard me? Now, some of y'all, I know for sure, some of y'all came from other cats or whatever the deal is. My baby, welcome. You heard me? We all have a lane. And guess what? You're not playing your part. You heard me? You got a lane too, but at the same time, oh, spiritual therapist, she the one that's she doing what I want to do and this and that. My baby, it's not done in your voice. And guess what? Spiritual therapists can only grab those that are assigned to her, and you can only grab those that are assigned to you. That's the reason why you keep sitting on social media or on TikTok all day, sitting on all these lives, and you don't have no people whenever you decide to go live, because you don't want to go live because somebody else going live. My baby, you have your people to hold on to. You heard me? Every day, 365 days in a year. If you understand, if you help one person to think different, that's all I'm here for. Now, let me go ahead and say again. Scripture says that ask and you shall receive, knock and the door will be open unto you. My only ask for anybody brand new, if I gave you something wholesome tonight, because I'm trying to feed your spirit, my baby. If I gave you something wholesome tonight, all I need you to do is type in hashtag FYP in the chat and let the Lord do the rest. Talk to me, sis.
Womp, 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 womp. Listen, I'm not saying nothing. I just told you I love you. I'm enjoying you. Listen, it's a thrill to hear another wise soul. You know what I'm saying? Because like you just said, you be around all the other ones that claim to be wise, and we can discern it. So I'm listening to somebody is wiser. So listen, can I just stay on mute? I'm chilling.
Hey,
That's all I ask.
look what's going on in the
I'm
chat
just
right
chilling.
now.
I'm laid back.
Look what's happening in the
My
chat right
chat's going.
now.
My
Hey,
baby's over here going crazy. They talking about facts. They tuned in over here. Hey,
you
they
heard
loving
me?
it.
Hey,
Yes,
all
do
right,
your
I'm gonna
thing.
put you on
It's your
mute. I see that the Lord will provide. The scripture says that the Lord will provide. He will never leave nor forsake us. You heard me? The only thing I'm asking of the Lord in this season, because there were two messengers that came, and the second messenger came because the first messenger decided to pretend like she wasn't the one being sent. You heard me? So there was two messengers that came, and they both basically told me that I need to start asking the Lord for unspoken desires. And I'm like, what? Unspoken desires. Think about it like this. Every last one of us are pregnant with something, male and female. We're not just talking about children. You heard, man? You are pregnant with a purpose, but at the same time, my baby, you way overdue. Think about it. You living in a world where you've been lied to you so many times, you don't even understand what's the truth no more. Well, guess what? All of y'all will be so all excited about your birthdays. When in actuality, my baby, listen to the scripture. It says that he knew you intimately before you were born. Before he placed you in your mother's womb, he set you apart. That means the day of placement was the day you were born. But you're celebrating your birthday 9 months later, and they're making you believe in that life that you are a zodiac sign. My baby, as long as you operate out of that zodiac sign, that's not what the Lord sent you down here to do. So yeah, you got your little tattoo on your chest or whatever the situation is, and this and that, and it's such and such season, y'all. You don't want to operate with don't treat a Libra a specific type of way. My baby, that's all demonic. Think about what I just told you. The last funeral you went to, you basically only accepted the particular demonic doors that individual opened. Because if you're the chosen one, you got to understand you came to be the change. So don't think that it got to fall on somebody else. But at the same time, that's the reason why. Let me give you some more information. That's the reason why you had to have all them children. Because the Lord knows, not the devil, the Lord knows that just in case you despise him like your family did, that's the reason why one of them have to be different. But at the same time, in that difference, you're still designed to kill the spirit of that difference. So chances are he may end up in jail for life on the strength of you telling him that he needs to learn how to take care of his brothers and sisters whenever they go out. And he go ahead and take care of one of his brothers and sisters on behalf of a fight or behalf of unaliving somebody. And all he's doing exactly what you told him, when in actuality, he didn't know that you were a narcissist. So there's women that are asked, why isn't such and such mature for his age? My baby, I got a better question to ask. How do you keep attracting that same type of individual? Because I told you that you're a magician. You keep finding the same dude as the same spirit in another body. You were taught to do that. Guess what? And some of y'all got therapists. My baby, you don't need no therapist for this. You heard, man? Think about it. None of your therapists are telling you none of this because they don't have that particular type of depth. You heard, man? They don't have the depth for this. But at the same time, you show up favor, my baby. Just send me and spiritual therapists the cheese. You heard me? We're going to keep giving you these bangers on a day. Just tell us what you need. And we're going to bang you up. You heard, man? Hey, go on her side. She going to knock the heart off your shoulder. You heard me? You come over here, my baby. I'm going to give you that medicine before you go over there. You heard, man? Hey, Songbird, it's beautiful to see you. Clark, it's beautiful to see you. Y'all talk to me. Y'all ready for me to go? Because I see it's almost 12 o'clock. Y'all ready for me to go? Or y'all want me to keep going? It's up to y'all. You heard me.
brother.
Go ahead.
I gotta go. Your sis
Okay.
gotta go.
Go
It's
ahead.
1
It's all
o'clock.
good.
It's going to be 1 o'clock for me. I'm
My
on
baby,
Eastern time.
get you some rest. You heard me. It's beautiful to see
Yes.
you. I love
When
you.
you gonna
You
do
heard
this
me.
again?
Oh, yeah,
When we
most
need to do
definitely.
this again?
Most definitely. Let me see what the crowd want to keep doing. Hey, get you some rest. We'll talk soon.
Okay, I love you.
I
Listen,
love you. I love you too.
you're blowing my mind. I got to come. I'm blown away. I'm blown
Hey,
away. I love you. I love the
love you.
chat saying they love you. They love you. Go over there, chat. My chat. Go over there to him. Half of y'all is from him, and the ones isn't from him. Please go over there. This is a male perspective. That king on fire over here. You heard me. You going? They said they're coming over there. Kingdom business on them coming over there to see you. I love y'all, brother. Click me out of
Hey,
here. Keep spitting that
be safe.
fire.
I don't even know how to do that. You heard me? Hey, I'm
What?
gonna
We
need you to
always
do. Matter of fact,
do this.
just close your app. Just close your app. It's gonna kill
Okay, I
everything.
close it. All right, got you.
It's
See
all
ya.
good. All right. So back to the situation at hand. You heard me. Is there anyone here who would like to hold a conversation with me? You have been sitting there listening to the things that the Lord is actually saying within this season. And chances are you're going to allow that same spirit that's used, because you got to understand, every one of y'all have the same type of fear. And what I mean by that, matter of fact, let's play a game right quick. What type of animal, because I'm from the country, you heard me, so we was raised around horses, pigs, dogs, cats, all that, so I don't have no problem being around those type of animals. So what animal are you afraid of? Go ahead and put that in the chat. Let's see if some people gonna put that in the chat. What animal gets you emotional? You heard, man? This so good, the world is missing out. Songbird, here's the deal. The Lord has been so faithful. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been times where I wasn't interested in reading the word. You heard me? I was just, playing around with it. But at the same time, like the scripture says, he'll never leave you nor forsake you. So you can go and supposedly walk away from the Lord, or supposedly put yourself in self-isolation or whatever the deal is, but he's still going to have access to you, because he's going to now have to carry you around, because you just sitting up there playing around. My baby, he never sent you here to play around. Think about it. You keep playing around with all these men that has that certain type of spirit. There's some of y'all that still believe that the Jezebel spirit is only in females. Nah, my baby, the Jezebel spirit is a spirit, so it can be in male or female. So think about it. You're looking at the LGBTQ community a specific way, when in actuality, those particular females has the Jezebel spirit to basically not only make somebody else come to that side of town, you heard me, is basically another familiar spirit in a different way that is making that woman actually operate out of that same particular familiar spirit. That's all that is. And there's a point in time you sitting up there judging the people when you actually don't realize what it is that's taking place. Think about it. Some of y'all have twins. In those twins, they nothing alike. And you still can't figure out why it works like that. It works like that because there's specific spirits that you still have the umbilical cord that's tied to you on behalf of how your children came out on behalf of their creation. Lord, is in it. Well, got some mothers in here. You heard that? What's going on? But it's in the men too. Yeah, exactly. It's in the men too. It's not just one way. You heard me? You thinking that you safe because you in here trying to promote lust. That's what you about. You have all these filters on every one of your particular posts. My baby, we don't even know. It's only two people that know what you look like. Yourself, which you really don't know what you look like, because as soon as you leave the mirror, everywhere you go, you supposedly right back in the mirror. My baby, you never created your own identity yet. How you don't remember? You've been doing this for years. You heard me? You've been being in whatever climate that you in. You've been in that climate for years. How you not know what you still look like? You heard, man? Think about it. These eyelashes. What age do eyelashes stop growing? My baby, be your original self until you create your own identity. You got to understand that What is the actual nutritional value behind the eyelash? It makes my eyes pop. My baby, for who? Think about it. You performing, you getting dressed for another woman, and you wondering why they know that that's what you're doing. And now she was one of them bull daggers or whatever the deal is, and she was trying to talk to me. No, she was trying to talk because she smells that particular root that's within you because you promote lust. That's the reason why she's after you. Is the spirit that she's holding. Y'all don't want to talk, man. Like I said, does anybody, Kimberly J, talk to me. Does anybody want to come up and hold conversation with me? You heard me. You've been sitting back listening to this stuff, and you're feeling emotions, when in actuality, I want to stop you right there, because this is what I need you to understand. I'm not here to make you emotional. I'm here to teach you that emotions aren't real. And if you allow me to teach you that emotions aren't real, my baby, a lot of stuff that's actually taking place, you're going to be able to see the hand of the hand of the Lord that's on your life that you actually misplacing. You heard me? Think about it. Hit the request. Oh, yeah. If you got the courage, come on up. Because guess what? Once you come up, I got to ask you these questions, and I need you to tell me what the situation is. You heard me? Let me know it from your perspective, because I need, whenever we do this panel for Sis, Can We Talk, it's going to be coming from some healed women. I got some healed women that's in the room. You heard, man? Like heal, not just on no, you know what I'm saying? They can understand exactly what it is that I'm talking about, because I'm speaking their language. Now, only certain guys are going to be able to catch their attention in that particular way. Now, when it comes to you, the only reason why you're here is because I used to have that spirit as well. You might be trying to remind me of a class that I already passed. So as I see you coming, I'm going to already know how to operate. I'm not going to be in a situation when I'm going to be caught with my pants hanging down because I done had an intrusive thought and then brought you back into my remembrance, not realizing that, because this is what I need to teach you. When you have an intrusive thought, that intrusive thought is basically bringing you back to a classroom that all I need you to do is pack up your things and walk out that classroom, because the classroom setting is where you've been keeping yourself, and you're the only one that's still in the class. Think about it. That dude been left. That boy got married to somebody else, and you mad because he married the next woman. My baby, no, that's how it was supposed to happen. You needed to be the placeholder in his life, and you need to learn your particular role in that situation, because there's women that's actually operating out their spirit that needs your help to wake up from that particular course as well. But at the same time, you want us to do it all by ourselves. No, my baby, we need you too. You heard me? Stop going into these particular panels and not realizing why you and all these women have something in common outside of the fact that you're sitting on a camera all day with the camera off. What is the actual purpose of that? Why even come on the stage if you have nothing to say, you have nothing to show, you have nothing to give, but at the same time, you're operating out of an empty cup, and everybody else is everybody else's problem because you go home to be miserable daily? My baby, I'm going to ask you one more question. I believe I'm healed. If you believe, I believe, but here's the deal. I believe what you believe, but you're not going to make me just believe what you believe, because at the same time, if you're saying it here amongst peers, remember that remember that life is like Tetris. When you fit in, you disappear. So if I tap your particular profile, and on that profile, it says no videos. On that profile, it says nothing but voiceovers, nothing but pictures, or whatever the situation is. What that's telling me is you're fitting into a world that you was never a part of. And some people are not realizing, my baby, stop giving men your phone number in this season. I'm about to show you why. Ask them what social media platform is their favorite. Whichever one they tell you, you connect with them there. Because what happens is, that's the reason why my baby, listen. My block game strong too, you heard, man. I got some people that the Lord has been trying to deliver me. I'm hurting people in a different way. But watch this. You're not allowing yourself to see that it had everything to do with basically the Lord getting praise, the Lord getting glory on behalf of your story. Until you realize that your story was designed by God, because you got to understand there's a significant part of your story that you always want to tell people, anybody that's willing to listen, but you'll never go live with it. There's a spirit, my baby. There's a spirit that's keeping you from speaking your mind. There's a spirit that they taught you how to neutralize your uniqueness. You heard me? Watch this. And I need you to be honest with me. To those of y'all that's in the chat, watch this. Let's see if you're going to be honest with me. And this is the question I'm going to ask. And in that question, I need somebody to come on stage and answer it, if you have the courage. My question to you as your brother. Now, understand I love you, my baby. You heard me? I never had a sister before, and I need one. I need a few of them. I need a lot of them. You heard me? Because the Lord is going to allow me to prepare you for your husband. It's not about you trying to see me as the opportunity. I'm going to prepare you for your husband because you're not going to be able to go back to them same type of dudes that you actually operate in within that world. You heard me? Now, here's the question. Kimberly J, throw this up right quick. My baby, my question to you is, and be honest, I need to know what your heart is saying. Is this life giving you what you want? Is this life giving you what you want? Would anybody like to come up? Because at this point, you have to understand, this is the reason why I'm trying to teach you this. I need you to understand that until your heart and your mind aligns, breakthroughs can't happen. You the one that's standing in the hallway from keeping them doors from opening because what you want to tell me is that your mind is saying, that you're all right, everything is good. But then I ask you what your heart's saying, and now it's a pause. My baby, in that pause, this is what I need you to understand. In the pause, now you have to think. And then the words that come out your thought, understand that that's the little girl that's still in you that you have abandoned for so many years. And she needs your help to heal. Because you talking about healing the you that's been living the wrong life. No, you got to heal her because that's the real you. The person that you hide is the real you. Nobody telling you this. Think about it. If life not giving you what you want, and you're afraid of change, then what do you have left than to live a life only waiting to be in the middle at the next homegoing service? I have to tell it to you like this, because if I sugarcoat it, we see what's already taking place. My baby, is life giving you what you want? Now, depending on what you text, because you got to understand, some of y'all not going to text it. So, I done figured out how to go around that. Watch this. Let me show y'all I've been learning, y'all. You heard, man? Where the thing at? Oh, you know what? I still don't know how to do it, you heard, man. I was supposed to set it up to where it go, okay, here we go. Nah, that's not that one either. Is it this one? Nah, don't even answer that. That's not what I wanted, you heard, man. Anyway, my baby, just get into my DM. You heard, man? Now, one or two things are going to happen. You're going to either get into my DM, or if I see the light that shines upon you within your post that you're living the wrong life in, I'm going to reach out to you. So chances are, if you see me, look at your profile. There's, they had a little woman that was earlier. You heard me. She had came to my. I could have swore that she came first. She came first, and then I went to her profile. I end up liking one of her stuff. You heard me. And then later on in the day, I think she came back to the profile. I said, "Well, I must be ugly." You heard me, because you ain't follow, you ain't seeing nothing. There's people that love to be in the back. Think about it. They're hearing what I'm saying, but they're not afraid. They're not ready for change just yet, and I have to be okay with that. That's just like there was a little woman that's on Facebook. You heard me? Now, one thing about me, I'm all about the people. So every morning, if I know what your birthday is and I have it in my calendar, you're going to hear from me for your birthday because I know how special it is for you. But at the same time, I know that you're still not happy, like you supposedly claiming that you are, to do this birthday, because especially y'all that have the nerve to put your cash app on your particular birthday. My baby, really? In that life? You living the wrong life and you want people to cash app you? No, my baby, stop doing that. And you need to get rid of them friends that do that. You heard me? I'm telling y'all. You heard me? Watch this. There's some people that have that on their profiles. They cash app, my baby. You ain't even said nothing. And you want me to tap the screen? You want me to share your live? You want me to do all kind of stuff. So you want me to give you gifts? You want me to do? You ain't said nothing yet, but tap the screen. Or better yet, you supposedly looking down at another phone. You heard me, my baby. You only got a split second whenever it comes to certain individuals, because guess what? At the end of the day, they still watching from the outside. They're not going to come in here because this is a situation where they understand that they have to be willing to change to hold this type of conversation. You heard me? I can't come up and answer that quick. Come on, Sacred Heart. Let's do it. You heard me? I'm sacred. No, it's not. Oh, wow. Hey, y'all, we about to have a gift tonight. You heard, man. Come on. Come on with it. It's time, y'all. You heard me? Y'all come on with it.
Wait, mine was on accident.
Talk to me, ladies.
Mine was on accident. So
Okay, you can jump back down. It's cool.
thank you.
Look, can I? And mind you, it's 1 o'clock in the morning here.
Hey,
You on late tonight.
let me ask you a question. What is the Lord telling you tonight?
Um, a lot of confirmation. I came on here to answer the question.
Okay, so is life giving you what you want?
Yes, it is. And I'm gonna say, and here's my perspective. Now, it is
Hold on.
giving you,
Hold
huh?
on. Before you say it, tell everybody who you are and what you actually do before you say that, because you know you're gonna try to keep something out. I'm not letting you do that. Come on with it. Let everybody know, because there's somebody that needs to hear from you that's in the room right now. Come on with it.
Well, I am Sacred Forest, and I have a coaching platform that coaches wives who are um, going through husbands who are dealing with addiction. So I help empower women to find their voice, not to lose themselves, while they are also dealing with the chaos of addiction that's around them. Um, so I said that life is giving me what I want right now because I'm in a process with me and God to where I am finally walking in my identity of who God called me to be. And it is a very interesting process and it is finally I'm not living in survival mode. I'm living in freedom. I'm living in um I'm in a space to where all the layers are coming off. I am I am like constantly shedding all of the old and God is imparting in me, new oil, fresh wine. I mean fresh oil, you know, really coming to the perspective that everything that I went through was for a reason, and it was character development. And so
Mm.
that's how I look at tests and trials, is when every time something comes, then it's something that is going to be pulled out of me,
Mm.
something that needs to be developed, that
Ooh.
that maybe I'm not seeing, or it's just something that I have to sit in order to endure so that God can get the glory out of it.
What? Where you come
So,
from, girl? You sound like an alien. What you
I,
mean?
so
What you mean? Yeah, that's what. Hey, they got somebody that said, "Girl, what you mean?" Tell them what you went through. What's this?
well, I went through I went through a lot of public humiliation. I went through defamation of character. I went through a lot of chaos to where I could have lost my mind several times, and I didn't. I went through a lot of I went through physical abuse. I went through verbal abuse, mental abuse, um, and I don't look like what I've been through. And that's where God started showing me what my purpose is and who I was called to.
Mm.
And the fact that He kept me and my children even through that, it was just an amazing experience, even to the point where I could have lost my life. And it was just like He protected me. It was almost, it was almost like it was a shield that was coming over me that literally saved me from dying
Wow.
because I was attacked. So it was a God moment. And he also told me that something would happen before it happened, but I didn't know it was going to be that soon. But it was literally like, and I can tell that story and not cry, not nothing. Even that same day, I didn't even. I'm telling the story to my friends, and they just crying, and I'm like, "What you crying for, girl?" It was like, "Girl, that's traumatic. You ain't crying." I was like, I said, "No, I didn't cry because for one, that's a miracle. God, I'm glad. I could have died in front of a cemetery. That's where it happened at, in front of a cemetery. I could have been in that cemetery. So it ain't no need to cry. There's no need to be angry." I said, if anything, I am grateful. So I have been through a lot, and God has really, really not only spared my life, but and made sure my children were good, because they don't. It was like they weren't even affected either. So
Wow.
I'm very, very much aware of my calling. I'm very much excited to see where God is going to take me, even after all of the layers are shed. And I'm excited to help other women through that chaos as well, because I'm living proof that you don't have to lose yourself in the midst of the chaos.
Mm.
You can actually find yourself in it. You
Ooh.
can find who God wants you to be and who God purposed you to be in the chaos if you
Wow.
change your perspective.
Wow. So what's this? Check this out. Let me show you. I'm feeling like I'm John the Baptist right now. You heard me.
Lord.
Because I'm about to put before you a little woman that you'll see. Kimberly J, give us a recap of what she just said. What's this? Go ahead and mute yourself for us. What's this? Give us a recap of what she just said, Jay, on behalf of how your story went.
Oh, wow. So you put me on the spot.
Absolutely.
What I heard her say was that she has overcome by the words of her testimony, that she is now able to pour into other people and walk them through, because oftentimes you can't walk people through something you have not been through. And so you talked about the heart. The thing about the heart is the heart can be very deceptive. The Bible tells us in Jeremiah that the heart is deceitfully wicked, and who can know it? So if you want the desires of your heart, you have to make sure you surrender your heart to God, because if not, you can be misled. You can think that this thing is from God because you want it so badly in your heart. That's why you have to present everything to Him first. And He examines your heart. He knows everything, the good and the bad. People love to quote, God knows my heart, but you're absolutely right. He knows that your heart is deceitfully wicked. He already knows all the things that you're thinking that's evil, because the Bible tells us that He knows our thoughts from afar off, right? So, okay, I didn't come on here to preach, coach, but I'm
Keep
just
going.
telling you,
Keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep going.
God doesn't just give us what we want in our hearts. He gives us what aligns with His purpose and His will. So everything that you've gone through, it was a part of His will. It was a part of His plan. It was a part of His purpose. You have to know that God is protecting you every step of the way. The Bible tells us that thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So that means that the rod is what keeps you protected. So the rod, when the shepherd is out with the sheep, the rod keeps the sheep protected. And the staff is when you get off track. When you think you want to go left, the staff pulls you back on path. That's why God, He says, I'll be a lamp unto your feet and a light unto your path. People think that that's a pathway, like I'm walking, but no, that's in your mind, because the enemy wants to come after your mind and your thoughts.
True Lord, have mercy. My
But I
baby.
didn't come here to preach on tonight.
Absolutely.
I just
Absolutely. Hey,
came.
we appreciate your time, Kimberly
I
J.
came on accident, sir.
Hey,
There
I'm
wasn't
happy
no
that you
accident.
came. But
I couldn't figure out how to hang up. I promised I wanted to.
y'all know how to hang up now? How y'all do? Y'all know how to do it?
No.
Because I ain't gonna know how to get y'all off the screen.
I'm sure I could figure it out if
Well,
I
you're gonna have
try.
to probably just kill your app and then come back here.
Okay.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. So what I'm trying to show y'all is I'm going to be bringing women before y'all that have been through exactly what I'm telling y'all about, but at the same time, they seeing it from a different lens rather than only seeing it from the actual lens that they see, that they was taught to see it out of. There's a multitude of things that the Lord wants to heal you from, but at the same time, He still needs your consent, because Scripture says that, you knock. Once you knock, He'll go ahead and come in and have supper with you. You heard me? So some of these things you've been hearing over all these years, but you haven't really actually operated out of them because you still believe certain strategic things. Now, I'm gonna travel with you in the Bible right quick, because I was supposed to talk about this way earlier. So I'm gonna be in the NIV of Matthew 10, verses 34 to 39. It says, "Do not suppose I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me, and whoever finds their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life for my sake will find it." So, my baby, really think about it. Have you listen, Matthew 10, verse 34 to 39. Put yourself in this particular situation. What are you doing currently that you didn't even come to this world to do? You came to live a set apart life. Chances are you don't have no set apart friends. And the set apart friends, you don't hang with them because you still got that spirit of not being ready to change. And as long as you're not ready to change, then you're going to be stuck in it's happening now in people's lives. Exactly. But they're afraid to go away from what's familiar. That's the reason why they continue to operate with these familiar spirits. Now, outside of Matthew, I love to go to Luke. Me and Sacred Force, we got something when it comes to that Luke situation. You heard me was having a conversation one night, and I said, let's travel. You heard me? And we traveled to Luke 9, verses 57. Matter of fact, I want to read it in the Amplified version rather than the International version. Watch this. In the Amplified version, it says it's this way. Verse 57 to 62. Yeah, 57 to 62. It says that Luke 9, verse 57 to 62. As they were going along the road, someone said to him, who is him? Jesus. I will follow you wherever you go. Have you ever said that? I will follow you wherever you go. In a previous season, think about it. You've been going to church over the course of your life. And in certain seasons, you'll say, yes, Jesus, I'll follow you. And then as soon as you decide to say that I'll follow you is when you some way, somehow find yourself getting into another relationship with another familiar spirit, not realizing that that was only another distraction designed by the devil to make sure that you don't accept your call again. So you keep going and get baptized. This is my time. I'm going to do it for me this time. I'm not doing it just for the family or whatever the situation is. And then you run into another tight squeeze. You done got pregnant again or whatever the deal is. My baby, you got weak again in that particular season because you keep allowing yourself to be emotional when in actuality, emotions aren't real. Emotions are just a check engine light designed by the Lord to allow you to be alert that, remember the Bible says, be alert and sober mind. The devil roams around like a lion looking for someone to devour. Roams around like a lion. He's not a lion. He's just a weak, pathetic individual that has the same particular stories. Think about it. Who else is a weak, pathetic individual that has the same old stories? My baby, think about your stories. You keep falling for the same particular tests. You're not passing those tests and you're operating out of the devil. I'm sorry to tell you, but I have to be real with you. Think about it. He has the same particular type of tests that he keeps manipulating you with, and you have the same type of tests that you manipulate men with. As they were going along the road, someone said to him, I will follow you wherever you go. And Jesus told him, foxes have holes and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. And he said to another, follow me, accepting me as master and teacher. But you said, Lord, let me first go bury my father. Have you ever been in a situation like that? You decided to accept the Lord as your savior, and then one of your parents or one of your main characters in your particular story dies, and then you decide to go into grieving when in actuality you was just saying that you were about to pick up your cross. So at what point you going to actually operate out your cross if you supposedly keep finding yourself grieving? But you was already grieving before the grievance even started, because at the same time you operate out of just them emotions. And in those emotions, my baby, they're not real. Just like this individual, he said to another, follow me, accept me as master and teacher. But you said, Lord, allow me to first go bury my father or go bury my loved one. Watch this. And he said to you, allow the spiritually dead to bury their own dead. Allow the spiritually dead to bury their own dead. But for you, go and spread the news about the kingdom of God. At what time are you going to start spreading this news? Because at some point you still make yourself believe that the Lord only allows you to have what you have, when in social media gives you a platform, a free platform. You think about it. You afraid to start a business because you don't have no money. You got a free business right there. You don't want to do nothing with it. You want to talk about some current events that's going on in the social media world. Who's arguing over my baby? You're not going to go live like that, because if you're a chosen one, it'll never work out like that for you. Just like when it comes to me, I can only have access to so much growth on this particular platform because I have yet to start operating out of giving you what you want. And once I give you what you want is when I'm gonna finally blow up. So I'm trying to take my time on behalf of getting it because I gotta gain your trust first. Well, what do you mean? I gotta give you gotta give me what I want. Once I start talking about men in this way to help others, is when y'all gonna start sharing my particular information. But until then, as long as I'm making you feel good, as long as I'm tickling, you feel like I'm tickling your ears because you're looking at me in lust. But there's other individuals, they're taking it like medicine. This is reviving them. This is filling up their cup. So there's a set of different type of women that's in the building. And my baby, I want you to know I see y'all on all levels, and I have to respect you on whatever level that you're on. I'm not going to judge you because I'm trying to help you. Think about it. Everyone is supposed to help each other in one way or another. But at the same time, you still look at your story as the people was trying to hurt you when they was really helping you. They was trying to help you to become the individual that the Lord created. But at the same time, you keep missing the boat because you keep hanging with these other little women that's wanting you to stay a part of the world. He said to you, allow the spiritually dead to bury their own dead. But as for you, go in and spread the good news about the kingdom of God. Also, he said, another also said, so what's this? Another time you decided to say it again. I will follow you, Lord, as your disciple. I think about it. You done went and joined church and they done gave you a title over there. You see how much meat is in just certain little scriptures, but you got to be able to ask the Lord for wisdom for it, because if you ask him, he's going to give it to you freely. So what's this? Another time you started going to church. They gave you a title. You heard, man. And in another season, you said, another also said, I will follow you, Lord, as your disciple. But first, let me go say goodbye to those at my home. Think about it. In a previous scripture, we just said, if you love your father more than me, you're not worthy of me. If you love your son or daughter more than me, you're not worthy of me. Until you take up your cross, you heard, man, you're not worthy of me. So in this situation, another also said, I will follow you, Lord, as your disciple. But first, let me say goodbye to those at my home. My baby, you got to understand, if you would have been doing what you would have been doing at the very beginning, you'd have never ran into that particular situation where you're going to have to wait, or you're going to have to make the Lord wait. You got to understand, there's a lot of y'all that keep telling yourself or telling new people that you waiting on the Lord. My baby, no. The Lord put you in your mother's womb. As soon as he put you in your mother's womb, you had a purpose. He ended up giving us from Genesis to Revelations on behalf of what we're supposed to be doing in this life. The Bible is basic instructions before leaving earth. You heard me? Basic instructions before leaving earth. And another season you said, I will follow you, Lord, as your disciple. But first, let me say goodbye to those at my home. What's this? For the people that's in the back. But Jesus said to you, what's this? No one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back to the things left behind is fit for the kingdom of God. So my question to you again, sis, is what is this God? Who is this God that you're supposedly promoting on as a trend on your social media platform? Because it all makes sense, because you stand confused, and still to this day, you don't have no idea who the author of confusion is. Take your time with that one, my baby. Hey, go get you some water. You heard me? Take your time with that one. That one, I know that's going to be hard to swallow. The Lord has broke me out the plastic tonight, y'all. You heard me? I can only thank those who were close or trying to get close to help me to see that I was looking at it all wrong. Kimberly J told me one night, listen, that blew my mind, you heard me, but I had to respect it, because I'm telling y'all, the emotion's not real. You listen to what's being said because it's being said for a reason. That woman told me, you a mindset coach, but your mindset not changing. And I said, ooh. So that means strategically a spirit has came in that had basically kept me from seeing it that way. And all she was doing was revealing the spirit that was within me on behalf of me now seeing the spirit and know how, hey, nah, brother, you heard me. It was cool. You had a nice run. But at the same time, you can get healed off your own particular mindset. As you see it, okay, I see that class. I see what's going on, because I need you to understand that everything is a test. Think about how many times you got tested today and you failed miserably because you still seeing it only through your carnal eye and not understanding that everything is spiritual first before physical. I appreciate you, Kimberly J. You heard, man. Hey, I think it's time for me to get off this stage, man. Y'all don't want to. Let me see. The love of the world makes you an enemy of. Amen. Amen. You heard, man. The love of the world makes you an enemy of God. And guess what? Chances are you're going to read that and still not do nothing with the information, because you're committed to the life and you're committed to this life and you're living the wrong life, and everybody is involved. Even that man that you laying next to later on tonight is designed that way to make sure you stay in that world. My baby, we're all in the same world. Think about what I say when you watch my videos. I said, peace and blessings, everyone. I hope all is well with you within whatever world that you're experiencing. My baby, we in the same world, but we're not in the same world, because look at what you thinking and what you seeing in your world. And I'm telling you what's taking place in your world, and you still not even seeing it, because that's how deeply manipulated you are. And the devil is reigning supreme whenever it comes towards the world. You heard, man? It's my time. Good night. Hey, matter of fact, look, I'm going to jump off too. You heard me? I'm going to get off this thing. I'm going to leave it alone. This was my first episode of Sis, Can We Talk? In due time, I'm going to come in here with a panel. I'm going to ask them little women some questions on the spot. And I'm going to show you how the only difference between their story and your story is just the mindset. Think about it. It's just the mindset. Once the mindset shifts, that's exactly what the devil doesn't want. He doesn't want you to change your mindset, because he got you in that small circle with devils that basically don't want you to change. It's all set up. It's all spiritual first. And you've been sitting up there calling yourself family. My baby, you wasn't designed to be family. You heard, man? Anyway, hey, good night, y'all. Listen, I appreciate all the likes. You heard me. I see we have 57,000 likes. You heard me. I appreciate all the gifts tonight. Kimberly J, if you're going to do them last 20 roses, come on, my baby. I mean, last 40 roses, come on with it. Y'all, somebody go help her. You heard me. Let me get them last little 40. Let the Lord do his thing. I don't know when I'm going to come back on live again. So I just like to pop up. You heard me. If you're not available, my baby, I'm sorry. But at the same time, the Lord is actually doing a thing that I can't be in the way of no more. So some people have live times. Some people have these scheduled live time, my baby. I can't give you a schedule, because at the same time, if somebody on, I still got to come and speak. You heard me? I'm going to come and show some love right quick, but I still have to come and find my people. You heard me? Because somewhere, somehow, one of y'all are the sisters that I'm looking for. One of y'all are the business partner that I'm looking for. But at the same time, you don't see yourself in that light, because you're all okay with being comfortable in the life that you're experiencing, and you haven't realized it until tonight. So always remember, you're only one person away from a total different life. And eventually I'm going to find that one person. I'm going to find me a one person that want to do business, that want to change their lives. And guess what? What's so crazy about it is you get the mindset portion, and you have me as like a cheat code going forward within whatever the rest of your journey brings. We doing business together, my baby. I'm going to make sure that you straight, especially if you're a single mother. My baby will make sure that your mindset's straight, and we're going to get into that situation with understanding how them children are thinking, because you got to understand, you've been deeply rooting them children already. So they can only see what you gave them to see, because that's what they gave you before. My baby, we can go to the top if you're not afraid. You heard me. Anyway, listen, I love y'all, man. And there's nothing that y'all can do about it. You heard me. Y'all be safe. I am Tommy Durrell. I focus on the mindset. I focus on changing the narrative. You heard me. Tonight was my first episode of Sis Can We Talk. The panel is going to be amazing. You heard me. Just go ahead and keep reaching out. Follow me. You heard me. I'm going to tell you, in order for me to follow back, you'll see, or whatever. You're going to hear from me. We're going to see what the situation is. But anyway, y'all be blessed. And ask the Lord to only do his will for the rest of your life. You heard me? And I need you to get out the way. You heard me? Get out the way of this situation. Let the Lord do what he got to do. Otherwise, I do mindset coaching. You heard me? My first conversation is free. I'm gonna basically ask you some questions to see if I'm a good fit for you. I'm gonna listen to your spirit talk. You heard me? I'm gonna give you what the Lord is giving you, and then I'm gonna shoot you my particular categories. You pick which category that you want, and then we'll start this healing process if that's what you want, if there's a season that you want. But at the same time, chances are you have never invested in yourself in this particular life, and you don't see no reason to, because everything been given to you for free. My baby, that's a design. They want you to stay in that mindset. No, my baby, think about it. The people that's on government assistance, they want that free money. They got you with that same mindset too. No, my baby, the Lord has more for you. It's time to go higher. You heard me? Or if it's on the business side of things, I'm letting you know, sis, you are only $500 away from never having to worry about money again. And for those of y'all that supposedly are in love with your families, that's cool, because I'm gonna work around that too, because my wisdom runs deep. If you love your family as much as I'm not gonna try to turn you against them, but at the same time, you have 18-year-olds to 29-year-olds in your family that you don't care about enough, because at the same time, you can help them to all become entrepreneurs in that young season, to where they won't have to run through the same situation that you're going through right now by going to a job that you can't leave because you ain't did nothing with your first 40 to 50 years. You heard, man? So I got to talk to you like this for you to be able to understand, because you come to me, you want me to coach you, my baby. I'm going to give you what you need rather than give you that tickling ear situation. I'm not going to tickle you. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what the situation is, and I'm going to show you how to get this cheese. You heard me? I'm trying to find somebody that I can teach a new game to. You heard me? If you let me talk in you, think about it. You talk to me about 2-3 times a week, my baby. What about them other dudes? Where you team at? What them boys teaching you? What they trying to show you besides finesse you into getting the little combination to your lock, and then they take their mask off, and then you mad because you took your mask off too, and now you're just sitting there with no mask on, when at the same time you are basically a magician. You know how to keep finding the same dude. My baby, the Lord can only allow those dudes to teach you, or to treat you how you treat your relationship with him. You heard me? I know that's hard to swallow, but anyway, hey, I'm gone. I love y'all, man. Y'all be safe, and we're gonna definitely talk soon. God bless.